Echoes of the Forgotten. Aryan, a 13-year-old boy, has his heart pounding with excitement as he walked ahead of his parents, his feet crunching the fallen leaves beneath him. The sun peeked through the dense forest canopy, casting golden patches of light on the trail. It was a perfect day for a hike. Meera, his mother, called out, Aryan, don't go too far ahead. Vikram, his father, chuckled. Let him enjoy. He loves adventure. Aryan grinned but slowed his pace. He loved these hikes, the thrill of exploring nature with his family, but as he bent down to tie his shoelace, something strange happened. When he stood up, the trail was empty. Mom, Dad, panic bubbled inside him. He turned in circles, eyes scanning the trees. His parents were just there. He retraced his steps, heart pounding. Then he saw it, a cave, its entrance dark and uninviting. Maybe they went inside, he thought, swallowing his fear. The moment he stepped in, the air grew icy. His own breath echoed, Mom, Dad. Then he tripped over something. Gowning, he pushed himself up and looked down, his stomach twisted in horror. Body, his own. He opened his mouth to scream, but darkness swallowed him. Aryan jolted away, gasping. He was in his bed. His mother sat beside him, pressing a cool cloth to his forehead. You are burning up, sweetheart, she whispered. His father stood by watching. You had a nightmare, kiddo? Aryan blinked. A nightmare? But it felt so real. The next morning, everything seemed normal until they went on the hike again. The forest, the trail, his parents ahead, and then gone. No matter what he did, he always ended up in the cave, always tripping, always waking up in bed. The cycle continued, twisting his reality. One morning, he refused to go on the hike. He stayed in bed, gripping his blanket, but when he blinked, he was in the forest again. Fear clawed at his chest. He sprinted in the opposite direction, this deeper into the woods, but the cave loomed before him once more. His breath came in raised gasp. Inside, he saw them, his parents' lifeless bodies beside his own. Memories flooded back. The rocks light, the deafening crash, his mother's scream. They had never left the cave. Shadows stirred around him, whispering, You do not belong to the living. The darkness twisted, forming hollow faces. Aryan blacked, terror gripping him, then a hand on his shoulder. He turned. His mother and father stood there, their forms glowing faintly. Let go, Meera whispered. It's time. Vikram, his father, nodded. We move on together. Arya breath hitched. Fear weared with understanding. Slowly he took their hands. Light consumed them, erasing the cave. The last thing he heard was the whisper of the wind. The cave stood empty once more, its echoes finally silent.